Coming up on Rods and Wheels.
Rods and Wheels is presented by Wall Facial Hair Trimmers.
Today marks a monumental milestone in the lives of two ordinary anglers. A boutique business attorney from Tulsa and a retired recon Marine from Connecticut are nearing the completion of their 2,500-mile motorcycle tour of the Southeast. Brad and Joe have chosen the Florida Everglades as their final fishing stop on the journey. An exotic ecosystem and the largest subtropical wilderness in the United States.
Before I ever saw the Everglades, my expectation was that it was probably much of what I would have expected the vacuum bayous of Louisiana to be like.
I didn't know what to expect, and it's basically a big series of canals. They're wide, they're about anywhere from 12 to 20 feet deep in spots.
Beautiful fauna, interesting birds, flowers all over the place, areas where we had lily pads that were really neat.
Got one. Oh, son. We have fish.
And it's not a bait fish, huh?
Nope.
Good job.
Oh,
nice.
Sean, hello.
Nice way to start.
Good job, Joseph.
Thank you, sir. That's a nice fish.
Here we go.
Thanks, son.
Now, did you catch him on that popper, Joe?
Yeah, I did, that popper.
Nice and pretty, no parasites.
Look at that.
Really
that is a
healthy.
gorgeous looking female.
Beautiful.
You got one there, Brad?
Yeah.
Haul her in.
Thought I had grass.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
All right.
That'll get you.
That frog seems to be working real well. Nice little bass.
Pretty fish.
That's
nice
a
and
pretty...
healthy. Gills are nice and red, getting plenty of oxygen.
Wow,
Tell Grandma
big.
we're here, please. Thank you, Lord. See you, baby.
Well, you said the ecology for the fish in here was just outstanding.
Well, that's why we moved down into this area. We're going to stage up and kind of rest out through here a little bit and work this edge off and kind of see what happens. The barometer's dropping. These fish ought to really start to pick up and eat a little bit better. And we're just going to kind of wait and see what happens here.
The cloud cover was a good thing. Unfortunately, then it started raining. Lightning, thunder, not a good thing to be out there sitting there holding up a bass rod going, here I am, hit me, go ahead, make my day. No, that ain't the thing to do. So at that time, it's time to leave.
Forced off the water at the hands of inclement weather, Brad and Joe head down U.S. Route 1 to Key West. Having shared an epic adventure in discovery, they visit the former residence of a man who enlightened readers with some of the most amazing fishing tales ever told.
What do you got?
We have a couple of Hemingway Fuente cigars to smoke at Ernie's place.
Great. Thanks for the cigar, Joseph.
My pleasure, sure. A Hemingway at Hemingway's. Only way to roll.
Tell me something. You know, on this 35 days, is there any day that stands out that you really enjoyed more than the others?
Oh, yeah, and you know it.
Yes! Hey, that's a nice fish.
Yes! Woo! Oh, big!
That's what you were looking for.
That's what I came down here to catch. I was very impressed with the lake. It's been a lifelong dream to come down here and fish it. I just hope I get a chance to come back soon.
6'3".
That's the right picture, right there. That was the day.
That was a good day.
Oh, big. What about you? What did you like about the trip? What was your best day, you thought?
Oh, that's easy. It had to be the day we got to spend out at Homestead Miami Motor Speedway. Getting to take the bike around the track and then, you know, getting to fish in that infield lake, catching that 5-pound peacock bass. That was a great day. I loved that day.
Nice.
All right, let's see if we can get him in the boat.
You might want to get this one in the boat, you said?
I think I would like to get that one in the boat. Wow.
Let's see what we can do with that, huh?
Wow, what a fish. You hold him and I'll take that picture.
Nice.
Wow, that is some
nice
kind of fish.
That is a nice fish, Brad.
Thank you,
Good
Joseph.
hook set, everything. Great reflexes, Brad. Nice.
Cool. I figured you kind of were in your home element there with the NASCAR. But I'll tell you what, I enjoyed that track run myself. That was pretty cool, and the fishing was good.
That was great.
When Rods and Wheels continues, Brad and Joe go back into the Glades for an exotic fishing experience.
Rods and Wheels is presented by Wall Facial Hair Trimmers, the brand used by professionals.
Our South Florida fishing adventure continues from the Everglades. Brad Beasley and Sergeant Joe Kowalski take advantage of a break in the weather to fish this rugged subtropical backdrop.
Primarily when I go fishing, it's bass. I'm after largemouth bass. And if I catch something else, I want to see what it's going to put up for a fight. Fish. Yeah.
Oh, is that a cichlid?
That is a cichlid.
That is a pretty fish.
They are.
Looks like an orange perch.
These things are beautiful.
Oh, that's a gorgeous fish.
I caught that cichlid, and that thing put up a pretty good fight. For the size fish it was, I thought it was a largemouth bass.
And what'd you catch that on, Joe? Fluke.
Fluke?
Fluke? The fluke. I just figured you catching it was a fluke.
Well, that too.
With Joe, you never know when he's going to get a fish in the boat. I mean, I've never known anybody that screams, got one, with so many false alarms.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, baby.
We got a toad! We got a toad! Oh, yeah!
The big fish that he caught, you know, to his credit, you know, he played it perfectly, and it put up a pretty good fight, and it was great to see Joe land a big fish. I know he was real excited about it, and I was excited for him.
Yes! Yes!
That is a nice fish, Joe.
With another big bass, Joe leaves the Glades a very happy man. Meanwhile, back in Key West, the duo stops for lunch at a local biker hangout. To their surprise, they run into Brad's tattoo artist from Miami, Inc.
Hey, Morgan. Hey, Morgan.
Down here.
What's going on, bro? Hello, Gordon. How are you?
Hello again.
Small world.
You guys are stalking us, aren't you?
Well,
I figured you were just following up to check on the tattoo.
Back in South Beach, Miami, Morgan Pennypacker gave Brad his first tattoo, a symbol to mark his celebrated journey through the region.
So how's the trip been? What was your most fun you guys had so far on this trip?
You know, we got a chance to shoot some skeet at Pratt Sportsman's Club. I think it was outside of Sebastian. That was really cool. All right, pull. Pull. Pull.
Bite
Pull.
If it gets any closer, good night, nurse, son. It's going to be right in front of your nose.
All right.
Bite up still.
All right, pull.
There you go. All right, now, pucker up, boys. It's coming.
All right, whenever you're ready, brother. I'm in trouble. I'm loading.
I think probably it's a tie between the skeet shooting we did, and those jet skis were a hell of a lot of fun. Those things are cool. Especially my big wipeout. It was great. Well executed, well planned.
While heading through Boca Raton, the guys paid a visit to Brad's friends from Oklahoma. After a quick tour of the place, Brad and Joe traded their bikes for a pair of wave runners.
I don't mind hitting a wave or two and falling in. I'm in. Good. Let's go.
All right. think Joe was a little bit apprehensive at first going out because it had been some time since he'd been on a jet ski. It didn't take him long he was the typical reckless Joe, and all you want to do is stay out of the way because you weren't sure if he had a clue how to steer that thing. Got out there, had some fun, just racing up and down the canal, jumping some wakes. He is always on the edge, and I figured it would happen. Joe got separated from his jet ski, and I had to go over there and pull his sorry butt out of the water. That damn cigar is still in his mouth. It wasn't lit, but it was still in his mouth. And, you know, so I guess, you know, come hell or high water, Joe's going to hang on to that cigar.
Coming up on Rods and Wheels, we trace the tracks of this dynamic duel. The inaugural season of Rods and Wheels has presented Brad Beasley and Joe Kowalski with a remarkable trip of firsts.
Everybody sounds different than they think they sound, and so that's obviously, you know, a revelation if you're seeing yourself on TV.
From the first time the two met in New Orleans, a new friendship took root.
You're in the right place. You got to be Joe. In some respects, Joe was kind of what I expected him to be. I mean, he has that ex-Marine build, that ex-Marine look. Well, what a day.
What's up, brother? Get over here.
It doesn't get better than this, does it?
This is super. This is going to be great. Just go out, ride, go fishing. And to have somebody like Brad to do it with is pretty cool. For an attorney, he's not a bad guy.
Brad's first fish of the trip was his very first redfish.
Now, that's a redfish, huh? I think it was somewhere 26, 27 inches, about 9.5 pounds.
Good size. Wasn't as big as mine. It was only 9.5 pounds. But we'll give it to him that it was a redfish.
Although it was a respectable catch, Brad still lost his first bet with Joe, forcing him to eat his first pickled egg. The next stop was Jackson, Mississippi, where both Joe and Brad tried their first hand at a technique called noodling.
Let's go.
I think he's got him.
He's got him. He's got him. Got him.
Oh!
I lost my shoes.
You lost your shoes.
And it was an eerie feeling. I mean, you're in there and you know that there's something in there just getting ready to bite you and you don't know when. Finally, after you know, a couple attempts, it got a hold of my hand and I basically hung on and pulled it for dear life, grabbed the thing and just, you know, was out of air and needed to get to the surface in a hurry.
From Jackson, the two continued on into Alabama, where Joe lived out his dream of fishing Lake Gunnersville for large bass.
Nice fish. Need a sugar.
In Georgia, Lake Lanier produced Joe's first big striper.
17, 18 pounds. Beautiful fish, beautiful fish.
That is a beautiful fish. A thing of gorgeousness. This whole thing has been a complete eye-opening experience. I got a chance to meet a new buddy, which I'm going to be lifelong friends with, and the places we've been to, I never would have gone to them.
From spot to spot, these guys have had the chance to see and share the subtle subcultures of the region. As the two headed down into Florida, the fishing got hot.
Fish!
But not every catch was easy.
Whoa, you okay, Joe?
No, but I got the fish. Proper hook set, my boy. Must need proper hook set. No matter how hard that fish, you gotta hit it hard. And I forgot I didn't have a back on the stool. The only thought in my mind was to heck with my butt hurting, my knees, anything else. Is the fish still on the end of the line? Never let it be said that, oh God, my ass hurts.
Brad and Joe are now in Key West, their last stop on an epic expedition.
Look at that water.
Isn't that beautiful?
And we're not fishing.
I know, can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
Well, Joe, after 35 days,
Yeah.
what'd you get out of this trip?
The experience was unreal. The reason I did it, well, a couple reasons. One, to try and catch old big, but most important to see Steve.
Yeah.
And the next most important, it's sentimental. For all the guys and girls from all the armed services that couldn't. That's why. How about you? What would you figure on for?
You know, I think the thing that I got out of this trip most was the relationships.
Yeah.
Starting with you.
Yeah, all right.
But, you know, the guides, yeah, all the people that we met along the way,
Yeah.
I mean, just, you know, the relationships, I mean, that was probably the most important thing I got out of this trip.
Would you do it again?
I would definitely do it again. Not tomorrow. I want to go home. And, you know,
You gotta go home and see the wife and say hi.
Yeah, but I would definitely do it again. How about you?
Yeah, in a heartbeat. I'd do it again.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is just an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm glad I got to experience it with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Same thing here. Cool beans. We say we ride over and check out that southernmost point and we get the heck going here.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Now, for the Rods and Wheels off-the-wall comment of the day.
No matter how hard that fish, you gotta hit it hard. And I forgot I didn't have a back on the stool.
Rods and Wheels is presented by Wall Facial Hair Trimmers, the brand used by professionals.
Brad Beasley and Sergeant Joe Kowalski have wrapped what could be their final day of fishing together from the Florida Everglades. Now, it's only fitting that they round out their quest through the Deep South by riding their bikes all the way to the end of U.S. Route 1.
The southernmost point in the U.S. of A.
Congratulations, brother. We made it.
Done.
This is pretty inspirational.
Inspirational. It's what I defended for all those years.
So, Joe, after 35 days, is there anything that has really stood out, made a big impression on you during this trip?
Yeah, there has. Other than, of course, the fact of seeing Steve's grave site and visit with his mom and all of that, I think the biggest impression I've gotten down here is the southern hospitality, the way we've been treated. All the way from Greg Arnold and the guys all the way in New Orleans to Danny's to the crawfish, all the way to everybody. You know, we've had the experience to meet, and it's been like, you know, come on to the house, let's sit down, have something to drink, you know, that kind of thing. And it really is alive and well. What about yourself? What did you think was the most impressionable thing?
You know, I think the thing that made the biggest impression for me was when we were in New Orleans and had a chance to visit with the gentleman that had rescued 5 women. The devastation itself that we saw was real humbling, and it really caused you to pause and try to understand and appreciate what these people have been through. We met a gentleman in an area that was under 5 or 6 feet of water, and he described to us what had happened during the storm and the struggles that he faces.
It passed over, he had its storm winds and everything, you know, house shaking, you know, I was scared, really.
He's not defeated by the hurricane. I mean, it's been a struggle. His optimism led you to believe that, yeah, they're going to overcome it, and they're going to get back to where they were. And that seems to be the attitude that has been prevalent throughout New Orleans.
You know, God is good, man. God is good, and maybe I wouldn't have been so fortunate. I mean, I was doing what I was doing, that knowing what I was doing, but I had to do what I had to do, right? And afterwards, I looked at it. I seen where the power lines and all that was out in our grades. Some of that power was still on. I could have got electrocuted. I could have got bit by a snake, alligator. The water was contaminated, but I never realized what I was doing, but I had to do what I had to do to survive. And I just, you know, thank God that I'm still here to see another day. and I don't mind starting over. Believe that.
Keep the faith, brother.
All the time.
You know, it was really interesting to see the devastation up close and to have a better understanding as to what they went through, and at the same time to see how New Orleans is recovering and rebuilding. I think that had probably the biggest impression on me of the whole trip.
Yeah. It's been a hell of a ride.
It has, hasn't it?
You promised me one thing. I never say goodbye.
Neither do I. I'll see you down the road soon, brother.
Sounds like a plan.
All right,
let's go.
Let's take off.
Two lucky strangers have shared the ultimate motorcycle riding backcountry fishing excursion of a lifetime. Have you ever dreamed of just hitting the open road?
That's a wrap. Yeah! That's it.